So this is the Abilene Weekly Reflector, Abilene, Kansas, January 25th, 1906. So the prophet would have been 20 at the time. So he was reading these papers too, and reading between the lines, because again, these are European interpretations. The Moors waiting are practical, helpless onlookers at Moroccan conference. Mohammed El Therese gives views. The fate of last Muslim kingdom in Africa excites whole Islam world. Session Thursday afternoon. So we're going to get into this, and you got to read between the lines again. Noble Drew Ali was seeing what was odd and what was falsehood. So we're going to get into this. Algeciras, Spain, January 18. The delegates of the Moroccan conference Wednesday took a day of leisure in order to enable the secretaries to get ready for their work, and indulged in private conversations among themselves, or spent the time in preparing with their junior colleagues for the discussion of the surveillance of contraband arms in Morocco. The first question to be discussed at the next meeting, Ambassador White visited Gibraltar after he and Minister Gamir had gone over the political situation in Morocco regarding illicit trade in arms. Budget Meekin, an eminent authority on Morocco, had a prolonged conversation Wednesday in Arabic with Mohammed El Therese, and reported to the Associated Press the Moorish view as follows. Mohammed El Therese will be a passive observer at the conference until it enters the last stage. If the powers do not agree, the conference will fall to pieces of itself without the Moors lifting a finger. If, however, the powers accept a general plan of control of Morocco, the Sultan cannot be asked to submit to anything that will insult the faith or provoke a rebellion among his own people. The powers will hesitate before facing an international military occupation of Morocco to impose the scheme of administration. The Moors expect some power to take their viewpoint, even were a general agreement attained. They pray much of the time for the Almighty to protect its faithful, and they trust that the powers of evil will fall into confusion. The whole of the Islam world is somewhat excited over the fate of Morocco, as it is the last independent Muslim kingdom of Africa. Mohammed El Therese expressed satisfaction at the fact that the conference will begin with a discussion of contraband arms, since this is one question on which Morocco is anxious to secure the intervention of the powers. The Moroccans contend that while the French and German governments nominally restrict contraband arms from entering Morocco, the great manufacturers of arms in France and Germany reap and harvest by the illicit introduction of arms, thus fomenting anarchy and insurrection. Therefore, Morocco is prepared to have the powers decisively stop this contraband trade. On the other hand, some of the ambassadors fear that the contraband question may precipitate a crisis over the main Franco-German controversy, as the surveillance of contraband arms involves the determination whether France alone shall patrol the coast, of whether the powers shall establish an international patrol. The determination of who shall establish the patrol may therefore bring up the principal Franco-German issue over France having a special position warranting her to direct the maintenance of order. So we just went over this article, and as you could see, what would happen or should or could happen is what this was speaking about. But nonetheless, man, it was just a bunch of foreign Europeans trying to take over land and basically just the resources of the Moors. So I'm going to leave the link in the description. I'll let you go over this and pull the keys out that you want, but I'm just putting in work today. Islam.